Welcome to another edition of MIW. Got the D-Man here, and I'm glad you could join me today. Today's topic is going to be about giving. Why giving? Because I have learned in my time on this planet that whatever you want in life, give it away. But you think, Mark, I have nothing to give away. But you do. You're broke? Doesn't matter. You have time. Time is your most valuable asset, because I'm going to tell you what, when you're on your deathbed, you can't buy any more time no matter how much money you got. Now, if you're sick, you may be able to buy some medicine or treatment to help you live a little longer. Maybe. But what will the quality of that life be? Will it be good, bad, miserable? Are you miserable now? You've only got now, the present moment. But back to giving. The reason I want to talk about giving is because it's so important to wealth, success, riches. Well, you can have riches and not have wealth. Wealth is a combination of abundant supply, so you can have a home, car, food, whatever you need to be comfortable. But it's also an abundant supply of health, contentment, peace of mind, happiness. All these things have to be combined to form a truly wealthy person. You can be rich but not be wealthy. Do you want one without the other? Some people think that money is going to bring them happiness. Granted, money buys a lot more happiness than poverty does, but money alone cannot buy what you really want. You think about getting money, and the reason you want money is because you want things, or you want experiences, or you want power. Money represents power, but money in itself has no inherent power. Money is just paper. It's only backed by the gold, or it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. It hasn't been backed by the gold here in the U.S. since 72, I think. But before that it was. But money is just paper. Like during the Civil War here, the Confederate money became worthless. It was just paper. It's only a representation of value. And when you receive money, the money you receive is a representation of the value you have provided for your clients, your employer, the people that buy your products, whatever the case may be. So back to giving. So if you want money, you need to give money away. Whatever you want. If you want an oak tree, do you plant a watermelon seed? No, you don't. If you want corn, do you plant a bean seed? No, you don't. So everything that you want, you plant a seed of that. If you want to feel better, you help other people feel better. If you want to become rich, you can give money away. You can also help people become rich themselves. You can help them. You can teach them how to provide a service, how to provide value to other people so that value will come back into their life. Whatever you do, always do your best. Always do your best. Now, don't beat yourself up, because some days you may not feel like you did your best, but do your best to do your best. Very important, because if you give the world your best, the world will give you its best back to you. And what it can give back, the best of the world coming back to you, is much more than you could ever give to the world. But it comes back to you multiplied. If you sow $1, it'll come back to you in a form of more than $1. It doesn't always come back in money, as in cash. Someone gave me something the other day. What did they give me? People are always giving me things because I give. Someone gave me a junction box for an electrical junction box. I don't need it, but I take it because if you don't take everything that's offered to you, if you can take it, whether you need it or not, because you could always give it away to someone else, you stop the flow of giving and receiving. So as well as giving, you have to be able to receive. Sometimes people don't want to receive because of their pride. Take it, receive it. I can't think of what somebody gave me the other day, but it was quite a gift. Uh, oh, I took my car to the garage because the battery it went dead. It was at Walmart parking lot. So I told him, I said, I don't know whether the battery's dead or the alternator went out, because the alternator went out on my van. So I took it up there and he fixed it. He actually went to the store. The battery had some loose cables. He went to the store, the parts store, bought some shims, fixed the battery post for me. Okay, that was probably $50 or $70 messing with the car. He didn't charge me for it. Now see, I have tipped him in the past. I don't expect anything from him. I certainly didn't expect that. I figured it would at least be $70 or $100, but he just did it for free. That's what I'm talking about. Things like that happen to me all the time. When the battery quit in the Walmart parking lot, my daughter went in to call my son to give me a jump. I had cables, and I was sitting there waiting for her, and the guy next to me rolls the window down laughing and says, "Do you need a jump?" It was a friend of mine. I hadn't seen him for months. He was just sitting there. And so he gave me a jump. That's another thing. These things will happen, but you have to recognize them as gifts coming back to you for what you have given to the universe or to God, to the world, however you want to see it. But everything will come back to you in the same way. If you treat people badly, you will be treated badly. I think I spoke about this on another video, but it's the laws of the universe. You may escape the law of the land, but you will never, ever escape the law of the universe. Truly, you do reap what you sow. You sow a seed, you reap a seed. But you know, when you sow a seed, when you sow one seed of corn, you don't just get back a stalk with one seed on it. You get back many stalks with many seeds on it. What's the old parable or saying? You can tell me how many apples are in a seed. No, you can tell me how many seeds are in an apple, but you can't tell me how many apples are in a seed, because from that one seed will grow a tree which will produce many apples with more seeds, which produce even more and more. And that's how the law of giving works. Now, you can't just go give away $10, $20, $100, $1,000, whatever it happens to be, and think, well, I'm waiting for it to come back. Just got to let it go. When you put a seed in the ground, you put that seed in there, you water it, you walk away. You don't sit there and wait for it to come up, check it every day. Well, I wonder if it's up yet. Thinking about that seed all day long. Well, is it going to come up? How's it going to come up? I hope the sun comes out. I wonder if there's enough nutrients in the ground to get that to come up out of the ground. I hope it rains tonight. You don't do that. You put the seed in the ground, you walk away from it. You might look out there once in a while, see if it's up, and then eventually, there it comes up. You don't know how. Do you know how the nutrients in the water and the sun, everything make that seed, which is apparently dead, come out of the ground and grow? You don't know that. So that seed is representation of the desires you have within you. Every desire you have within you is the spoken will of, we'll say, God. Okay? If you don't like the word God, let's say the spoken desire of your higher self. Where did that desire come from? Did you create that desire? No, you didn't. You have no idea where that desire come from. Now, you didn't create the desire. You were born with that in you. It was an inherent desire within you. Now, it's up to you to do something with that. Now, if you listen to fear, the race mind, the multitudes, especially if it's something that's never been done before, or something that's never been done by anybody in your community, or your village, or your city, you tell somebody about that, they're going to line up all the ways why it can't be done, why you can't do it. It's like the Wright brothers. They flew. Many newspapers were so afraid to print the first account of the Wright brothers' flight at Kitty Hawk that they didn't print it, because it had been proven by the best mathematical minds that man could never fly. The scientists proved that it couldn't be done. Look at today. It's almost ludicrous to think that men actually believe that we could never fly. But there were some men, like the Wright brothers and others, some men died trying to fly. And surely the crowds and the multitudes thought they were ignorant. No, they weren't ignorant. They just hadn't figured out the correct way yet. But they died trying. So, was their life a loss because they died trying? No, because other men, such as the Wright brothers, were able to learn from these people's experiences. They moved in the direction of their goals. I'll guarantee you their life was fulfilling because they were trying, they were reaching to be more than they were. They were expanding, and we're all expanding. And if you're not expanding, then you're dying inside. You have those desires within you to expand in the direction of what you came here to be and to become and to have. It's not so much about having the things you want, it's about who you become in the process of reaching for these goals, reaching to create these desires, reaching to have more. The more is not going to make you happy. What's going to make you happy is reaching. I guarantee if you sit around all day and you dream about your desires, but you never take any action, you're not going to have a fulfilling life. But if you reach for those desires, don't numb yourself out with drugs and alcohol. I've done that in the past. It doesn't get you anywhere. More misery. Yeah, you feel good while you're doing it, but the inevitable end of that is depression, misery, feelings of hopelessness and loss. Nothing wrong with getting high once in a while, drinking once in a while. Nothing wrong. I don't do that. I don't do it anymore, but there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're doing it every day or have to do it every weekend, it's an addiction, and it's going to take you away from what you really desire in life. Although for a while it will numb those feelings of wanting to do something and the fear that stops you from doing that. You have to be willing to face fear. The only difference between a hero and a coward is one confronts his fear, the other turns his back and runs away from it. We all have fear. I just published my book. I don't know why, but when the editor would send me back the copies for me to check, I didn't want to look at it. I was afraid. I didn't read the cover that he put on the back until yesterday, and the book's been published for a couple days. I don't know. I don't understand that because I was afraid. I don't know what I was afraid of, but I forced myself to finish it, to do it, and do what I had to do. Okay, and it's published now. Now, I learned that that was a fear from when I used to box, and I would train so hard that I would be hurt all the time. So I didn't fight as many people did. I was a great fighter, but never accomplished anything because I didn't know the fear was stopping me. It was disguised as, I got to do one more round. I got to train harder. I got to work harder than everybody else. Yeah, I worked harder than everybody else, but I was hurt all the time. I wasn't the guy you tell that you got to work one more round or do one more round on that bag. I was the guy that you needed to tell, don't work so hard. My coach used to tell me, you don't need to come down here every night. I would drive like an hour every night to work out and get the shit beat out of me every night. Okay? I didn't have to do that. Later, I learned that I could spar 3 days a week, the other 2 nights shadow box and loosen up, work the bag. I was a better fighter. Wasn't hurt all the time either. So I never recognized that was fear. So you have to recognize fear in all its disguises. And then when you recognize what it is, it's really just an illusion. Fear is what stops you from having everything that you want today, from becoming everything that you want to be, from being the person you want to be, the person you can be. I say that you don't need to think less of yourself. I think most of us don't think enough of themselves. When we see someone who's very successful, I'll give you an example. Cobra Tate. He's like the toxic masculinity guy. So they say, I like him. Okay. Now, he borders on the line of arrogance, but we need to be more like that. You need to think more of yourself. People seem to take a kind of a morbid pleasure in cutting themselves down or complaining. We need to talk about how great we are. Man, I'm 60 years old. I'm in better shape than I won't say in better shape than I've ever been, but I'm in great shape. I'm in as good a shape as I've ever been. I can get in the ring and spar with anybody. Might get the crap beat out of me, but I'll hang in there with them and I'll give them a workout. They'll know they've been with me once I've been in there with them. Okay, I could go run right now if I wanted to, a couple miles. I could work hard all day. Yesterday I worked from 6:30 in the morning until about 9 o'clock at night. I loved it. Felt great. Yeah, I got a little tired. Okay, so we all have that within us. You just have to find something. Usually it's buried somewhere within that desire you have inside of you that you haven't taken action on yet. We have to find something that we actually lose track of time and while we're doing it, that we become obsessed with. Like if you've become obsessed with a girl or a man, if you're a girl, or drugs or alcohol or eating or whatever it happens to be, there's something that you came here to do that you can become obsessed with that will bring fulfillment instead of emptiness. It will fill you as you drain yourself and give yourself the desire. In return, that desire, the world will give you back fulfillment because you're pouring yourself out. It's like a cup of water. If you have a cup of water that's sitting there, okay, and it's full, well, if it just sits there, it becomes stagnant and doesn't taste well. But if you pour clean water in, the dirty water comes out. So it constantly flows. You are in a state of flux, and you have to continue to be in a state of flux, constantly giving to your constantly giving to your desire, constantly giving to other people, not in the form of codependency, but in the form of a flow, a flow, a flow of love. Now, I'm not talking about the huggy, mushy, gooey, oh, I love you. I'm not talking about that. An action, a love of action. For example, what I do here, I'm giving. I'm giving value to the world, hopefully. No, I am giving value. And this can help you. But I'm going to tell you what, by me giving this value out, it comes back to me multiplied. So I'm really being selfish, okay? I'm kind of a selfish guy. I want to feel good. I want to learn more about what I'm teaching about. And as I do teach more, I learn more. You cannot give away something that does not come back to you multiplied. It's a law of the universe. I think there's 50 laws of the universe on YouTube or something like that. You might check it out. It's just the way things work, like gravity. I talk about gravity. You can't see gravity, but you can see the effects of it. These guys, some of them I listen to on YouTube, and I listen to many metaphysical teachers. I listen to Cobra Tate, Rollo Tomasi, Ryan Stone, Myron Gaines, and many others. They're giving value to the world. All those YouTube videos are free. If you don't know something today and you want to know, just get on YouTube. You have a better opportunity than anyone's ever had since the beginning of time to gain wisdom. It's like if someone offered you wisdom or gold, what are you going to take? Most people take the gold. I'd have a hard time not taking the gold too. But the gold will be gone and you'll have nothing. No way to gain the gold back. But if you take the wisdom, you can gain gold and much more gold. Plus, things more valuable than gold. Without wisdom, money soon dissipates. If this has been of help to you, smash that like button and subscribe. Use that notification bell so you know when we got another video coming out. I got one coming out every day. On Instagram too, at Mark's Inspiration. Usually it's a preview of this video. And if you'd like to get my help personally, Mark's Inspirational Guidance at gmail.com. It's in my page on YouTube here. And I have a website, Mark's Inspirational Wisdom. You can check that out. It's kind of compromised right now, but you can contact me through there. And hey, have a great day.